So first, can you introduce yourself?
How do you want me to introduce myself?
You can say your name and your age.
Okay. My name is Benjamin Ayabami Ruben Alessandro.
But no one cares, no one cares, no one cares.
I'm 27. You're basically my little sister. Yeah, man.
What's your first memory of me?
When you were born.
You remember when I was born?
There was a time when your mum, and then I can't remember these two other people. There were two other people, and we used to go to the park for some reason. Mm-hmm. So it was your mum, these two other people, one white woman, and I think this guy was black with mixed race.
Yeah.
I think other earliest memories, changing your Pampers. I was a good big brother, man. I did a lot of things for people, man.
Okay. You're the firstborn of 4 boys. Growing up in a Nigerian household, having that position in the family, what was that like?
You know, back in the days when we used to pray all the time.
I said back in the day.
No, you know.
Devil worship now. So you remember when man used to be a Christian and that?
No. There would be times where when my mum would pray, she'd always say this thing: you would always be the head, not the tail. And you know, you kind of have that entrenched in the back of your mind, and you know. When it came to like, things going to school, you know, I'd always have to take them to the classroom before I go into mine and things like that. So from there, yeah, there were aspects of responsibilities that I knew only older siblings had. For us, it was there was the aspect of, okay, you're a first boy, you have to have what's it called, some level of
is it like authority,
autonomy, not really, because Dad was still there, so it was more being a role model. So there was a lot of pressure because they were always saying that, look, you have to be the one that the rest of them are going to be following in after you. So before, a couple of years back, I was more heavy into it, so I was making sure that they were getting up on time, that they were doing their homework and that kind of thing. But now, as we're all older, a little bit more older now, I've taken a way more laid back approach to it. I kind of just give advice whenever I see I need to give advice or whenever they ask for the advice. But most of the time, I kind of just, you know what I mean, ride my own wave. Everybody else is riding their own wave.
Whenever I have a problem, I always call you, yeah? Do you feel that pressure sometimes?
No, because whatever anybody else is kind of going through, coming in after me, I have been there. I know what it's like to taste Gary for 7 days a week being broke. Yeah, and then I've been at times that I've tasted riches, you know what I mean? You know, those life experiences I'm able to pass down if needed.
I find that black men find it very difficult to be open with their emotions. Actually, first of all, would you say that you fit into that category of just not being open with your emotions necessarily?
Yes. How
is it possible that you're guiding us and you're teaching us without telling us that, you know what, when I went through that, I was sad, I was depressed, or even I was happy? Because with you've never been like, I was so happy. But then again, you've never been, you're just not open with your emotions. Like, how do you find navigating that?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, it's a very good question. I don't know. It's just,
I do this.
It's a good question.
Period.
I think because sometimes I think it's implied, but that's just me because I'm not very, and I feel bad for saying this, is because I'm not a very emotional, intelligent person. You know, I find it hard to read emotions. So, or to kind of...
Do you think so? I don't think, maybe with your brothers, but not with me.
If I tell you one story about back when I was in uni, put it like this, I can tell when people are kind of in a mood, but I don't know how to maneuver around it because I'm a straight talking person. I give it to you straight.
That's a fact.
It is what it is.
That's a fact.
Whatever you're going through, whatever the emotions you're feeling, you should know that if I'm giving advice that you feel like is resonating with you, then you know that I was feeling the same way. So I don't really like to speak about it. It's kind of implied anyway. So I know that if I run into any problems or anything, they have all got my back no matter what. And again, I remember there was this one time we all fought, and this one
all 4 of you?
We all fought. All 4 of us.
You all fought each other?
At one point, yeah, all one. It was World War IV between all of us. My mom called us in. You know the Ibale, I don't know how you call it.
Ibale, the broom.
Yeah, the broom.
This how you know this guy is not.
I told you, I'm too Western. So she took one piece out and she broke it. Then she brought the whole broom and then she tried to break it. and obviously it didn't break. So she said, look, as one, you fall, you break, but all together, you're unbreakable. I think from there,
you just learnt to like rely on each other.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter like who's first or who's last or whatever.
No,
it was just like,
I think it's more of a unspoken rule just between us.
How did you navigate your blackness in your teenage years and in school? Or was it even a relevant factor?
I think in secondary school was the first time I've been around so many black people, because in primary school it was a little more mixed. But yeah, when I got into St. Paul's, literally we're playing football games and it was Nigeria v the world. Then I realized, wow, there are Nigerians. Even back then, on that other team, you know, the black kids were playing with the white kids, so it wasn't too much of an issue.
You travel a lot though, so have you ever had like any racial incidents or anything like that?
Honestly, no. And again, that's subjective. I know other people have, but for me, I think the only piece of racism I've ever felt was when I was in this country. And I was just trying to get into a nightclub, and you know, the same. I know a lot of people go through the same thing, getting into a nightclub, and they tell you, you know, you're not dressed correctly when you are definitely dressed to the nines with Chelsea boots on, you know.
And the thing is, you wear the Chelsea boots because you know I don't want to go there and they're turning me away, so let me wear my nice sparkly shoe.
I'll make sure I'm dressed to the nines.
And then you get there, not tonight, mate. Not tonight, mate.
Okay.
You're right, with my shiny shoe.
And that just resonated. Yeah, no, but that's literally the thing. And even, you know, back in secondary school, being stopped and searched by police.
Were you getting stopped and searched in secondary?
Yeah. I remember this one time in particular, because we were coming from an exam. So this is where in year 11 is exam time, and we're going from the exam base where it was back into school because we wanted to go revise for the next one. We're there in the center of the town, and yeah, they're just saying, what are you boys doing out of school? You know, we're telling them we just come from an exam, and you know, they just proceeded to say, can we look into your bags and things like that. So
so what is it then? They look into your bag now, they obviously find nothing, so is it just go on your way?
Yeah, and it's funny because one of the guys that was with us had crutches on, so it's kind of like, I don't know where you think we're gonna run to anyway, bro. So
was there a conversation with your friends after that, like what the hell was that?
Yeah, but I didn't pay it too much mind then, but now I'm more conscious of it, and I see it's happening not just to me but to a lot more people, and a lot more people are having way worse interactions just because of the colour of their skin. So it's put a lot of things into perspective for me that, you know, even though mine was minor, it's not just me that it happens to, and it could have been a lot more worse. And it could still be a lot more worse for me, so I'm now more mindful of how I have to now maybe maneuver myself, interact with people, just so I can kind of get my best self out there, and then people don't have the, I guess, the opportunities to kind of judge me. But
the thing is, even if you do that, they still will. Look at the shiny shoe. You did your best now.
Yeah.
Came with the shiny shoe. They were still like, no.
College, you know, it was a bit techie there. And that's when I guess, I don't know, I definitely felt, you know, a lot of prejudice because of who I was hanging out with, and just because I was black. So back in, you know, in that time when I got into college, I was still into anime, I was still into my stuff like that, so I was hanging around with a lot more Asians, you know, a couple of white kids, and then obviously I had my, you know, black kids, and that's just me as a person. I was whole rounded, but you would get the comments from, you know, other black kids in the college saying, oh, you know, why is he always with them, and you know, you're like a coconut or banana. One of
massive banana.
One of them anyway.
What advice would you give to 17-year-old Ben about what's coming in the future?
So at that time I was thinking I was going to be studying medicine. I thought I was going to be the guy, you know. Didn't work out that way, but everything worked out for a reason, the way it's going. You know, things are really good right now. So, but the advice would be, I think it's more just believe in yourself. Back then, it wasn't that I don't think I didn't have any belief in myself. It's just I didn't have anyone to kind of tell me or guide me into what I thought would be the right path for me. So I guess maybe it's more just trust your instincts, believe in yourself. Things are not working for a reason, but what can you kind of do to springboard off of that? What other skills do you have that you can use, that you can go out there and make some kind of difference in the world with? So yeah, everything works out for a reason. Don't get upset with any results that may come your way. It just means it's pushing you to a route that's for you. This is pink. This thing was lit. You don't know the thing. I'm speaking like all you young people, man. You know what's so mad? A lot of people even like older people, they speak like we were still back in like
especially
17,
people that went pen.
I'm like, bro, man. Like, what's going on here, man? All that time in pen, you didn't have the time to read the dictionary. What's going on, bro? No, but you know, shout out to the guys, free the guys inside.
You don't have no guys inside.
No guys inside.
So actually,
I have no guys inside. You know what I mean?